liberals are hypocrites. You say, what are you talking about? Well, the Bible, look what the Bible says in verse 5 of Isaiah 32. It says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal. So basically, God is prophesying here that there will come a day when people who are vile are known as liberal. Because, you know, liberal is actually a pretty good word. Because do you know what the word liberal actually means? Well, let me give you a hint. Look at the first 5 letters of the word liberal. Liber, which means what? Free. It's Latin for freedom. So liberal actually is a good word. And whenever the Bible uses liberal, it's a positive thing. Except here he talks about people being called liberal who are not really liberal. Because liberal actually means generous. It means you're free with what you have. Like if I'm very generous, like, hey, let me buy you lunch, or hey, let me give you something that you need, let me provide that need. So liberal is good according to the Bible, okay? But see, today, people have hijacked that term, liberal, and caused it to mean something that it's not. Just like they take the word gay, which just means happy and friendly, and you know, they turn it into meaning something else, don't they? They hijack that word. People change the meanings of words in order to confuse people and to get people mixed up. They confuse the language. You see, a liberal is somebody who's generous and free. That's good, okay? But look what this says. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl, a churl is a fool, that's an old word for fool, nor the churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. Are you listening to this? To destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things, he's saying the truly liberal, like in Proverbs, he said, the liberal soul shall be made fat. Basically, he's saying, if you're generous to others, give, and it shall be given unto you. The liberal soul shall be made fat. But here he's saying there are people who call themselves liberal. They use that term, but they're actually hypocrites, and they actually deceive the poor, and they actually make them more poor. Did you see what he said there? He said they'll make empty the soul of the hungry, and who cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. And he devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. You see, today, there are people in our country that are known as liberals, and I'm talking about politics now. You know, God forbid that I would bring up something that the Bible mentions because somebody said that I'm not supposed to talk about political things. I'll preach anything that's in this book, and this book deals with everything. I get so tired of hearing people say, the Bible doesn't deal with that subject. The Bible deals with every subject. It's God's word. It talks about every area of life. And let me tell you something. The so-called liberal today is not generous. He's not. Because if I were... Let me explain to you what liberalism in America really is. Okay? Come on up here, Brother Stuckey. You're going to be my example. Okay, this is liberalism. Okay? First I'm going to show you Bible liberalism and then American liberalism. Okay? Here's Bible liberalism. Bible liberalism, we come up to this guy right here and say, look at this guy. I mean, look at him. You know? He looks like he hasn't eaten in a few days. I mean, he's homeless. He can't get a shower. He can't get a job. I mean, look at him. Okay? And I say, you know what? I'm going to help this guy out because I love him, you know, and I want to help him. So I reach into my pocket and say, here you go, bud. But, you know, go get cleaned up, get something to eat. Let me help you out. That's Bible liberalism, right? Being generous, giving to those in need, you know. Hey, I love you, man. I'm going to help you out. Charity is what the Bible calls it, right? Here's American liberalism. Look at that guy. Just look at him. He needs help. He's poor. Give me your wallet. Here. No, don't knock $2. Give him everything you got. Can't you see he needs it? That's American liberalism. Go ahead and sit down. Stealing from someone else to give to him is villainy. That's what the Bible says here. Villainy. Not liberalism. You know, if these politicians are so liberal, why do they live in mansions and fly around in jets and take all these vacations? And you know, if Al Gore's so green, I wonder if tulips are coming out the exhaust pipe of his Learjet. If it just sprays like oxygen, pure oxygen, sprays out of his exotic. And he has a special implant in his throat to where he doesn't breathe out CO2. You know, he breathes out perfume every time he speaks. You know, the bottom line is that liberalism is being generous and free, not being a thief. And today the liberal's a hypocrite, isn't he? He wants to give someone else's money to help the poor. That's not generosity. That's not liberalism. You know, that's not, I mean, it's stealing. And it's also extortion.
Right.
You know, forcing someone to give you money. It's extortion. And so the liberal is a hypocrite. But number 4, and this one maybe you haven't thought of this one before. Turn to Matthew 24. And then if you want to also, you can turn to Job 13. That's where we're going to go next. So this is the last point. We saw that those who say and do not are clearly hypocrites. We saw that those who judge others for something that they're guilty of themselves are definitely a hypocrite, aren't they? We also saw that the so-called liberal, he's not really a liberal, he's a hypocrite. You know, he calls himself liberal, but he's really a villain, okay? He's taking away freedom. He doesn't know what liber means. You know, I wish we could be called the liberals. You know, those of us who are patriots and love freedom. You know, and I guess, you know, libertarian is kind of, you know, taking that term back a little bit. But, you know, basically, hey, those of us who love freedom are the real liberals, aren't we? You know? But I'm sick of, you know, the villain and the churl and the fool being called a liberal. You know, he's deceiving the poor. He's put people in poverty for generations by making them reliant upon the government. And the Bible says this, if a man will not work, neither should he eat. That's what the Bible, I mean, you gotta pay your own way in this life. You gotta rely on God, you gotta go to work, and then rely on charity to help you out when you fall in need. You know, I've been in need and people have helped me out, and I've helped out others in need, but it was free, it was liberal. It wasn't liberal, it was liberal. Okay? You got that? So, anyway, in Matthew 20,